It meant the lost species wasn't totally gone, because the first clue to bringing back the Floreana tortoise, well, it didn't come from Floreana, not at all. It came from the treacherous slopes of an active volcano on a completely different island.
And the first clue was something so simple, the shape of a tortoise's shell. See, on Wolf Volcano, researchers started noticing that some of the tortoises just looked different. But these other alien tortoises had these saddleback shells, a very specific shape, a trait of the extinct Floreana tortoise that lets them stretch their necks up to reach higher plants. So how did they even get there? Well, the best theory we've got is that centuries ago, whalers just tossed their live cargo from Floreana overboard to make room.
Okay, so that visual clue, it kicked off this massive genetic hunt. In 2008, a team went out and sampled over 1,600 tortoises on that volcano, and the DNA results were just stunning. They found 86 individuals that were carrying the genetic ghost of the Floreana tortoise. Some of them were even direct first-generation hybrids. It meant the lost species wasn't totally gone. Its DNA was still out there, alive and well, basically just hiding in plain sight.
And that genetic discovery was everything. It was the key. So scientists launched this incredibly meticulous breeding program. They carefully selected the tortoises with the strongest Floreana genes, brought them to a special breeding center, and started the slow, patient process of reviving a species one generation at a time. The goal was simple, really. Breed tortoises that are as genetically pure, as close to the original Floreana tortoise as humanly possible.
But okay, you can't just bring a species back to the scene of the crime, right? The very same invasive animals that helped wipe them out in the first place were still all over Floreana. So before the tortoises could ever dream of coming home, the island itself had to be healed.
And what that required was basically a full-scale ecological war. For years, teams worked to remove every single invasive mammal from the island. First, they went after the big ones, goats, pigs. Then, in 2023, came this incredibly complex operation to get rid of the rats, the mice, and the feral cats, all of which love to prey on tortoise eggs and babies. And the effect? It was immediate. It was dramatic. As soon as those predators were gone, the native wildlife just exploded. And then came the biggest shock of all. The Galapagos rail, a tiny bird nobody had seen on the island since Darwin's time, was suddenly rediscovered. Nature was already starting to put itself back together. It was proof that with enough effort, the impossible can actually become possible. So, why?